Rise and shine to all my stars. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lele Nsibande and you are watching Provoking Purpose. Now on this channel, we speak all things vision, purpose, and intentional youth. So if you feel like that is a community that you would like to be a part of, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's grow and glow together. I will be the first to admit that it has been a while since I've been here. I don't even have an excuse. I don't even want to say much about that. But what I do want to say is that I am here bearing gifts. For today, I have a little something special. So I am going to give you my top 5 lessons so far of this year, 2022. Basically, my halftime reflection. So if you do feel like you'd be into that, make sure to continue watching. Make sure you share this video with at least 2 friends. You cannot grow alone and hope to still like continue growing after you watch the video, because you're going to go back to the same environment that cultivates the worst of you. So if you want to make sure you're growing for real, make sure that the people around you are growing with you. That is on period. So let's get into the video. I will basically say this as a disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but more so background context for a lot of the lessons that I'm going to share with you that I learned throughout the half of this year. It's barely even the half. Well, it's almost the half. This was a hard start to the year. I really struggled to even feel like myself. Most of the time, I was just, a shell of myself. I was just looking like me. But I really felt unfulfilled because I wasn't doing most of the things that I know myself to do, like doing my hobbies that make me happy and just feeling like I was walking in purpose. I definitely felt like I stepped out of that and I was just getting by, and I was just like welcoming distraction of any form because it looks like I'm busy, but I don't have to sit down and face the reality that, girl, you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing. So that's basically where a lot of the lessons came from. And yeah, we're gonna just get into it. I have my trusty piece of paper over here, which basically just has like my lessons on it. So I'm going to read the first one. The first one is: the top of one mountain is always the bottom of another. So this is a quote by this lady right here. What that means for me is that I ended the year on a high. I had set goals and I had crushed those goals. I was in a good place spiritually in terms of my faith. And I felt like my faith was strengthened by my goals because I had something to depend on God for. And I had something to pray about and I had something to need from God. I wasn't just living like, oh, it would be great if God blessed me. It was like, I need God to show up for me. He needs to show up in the room, otherwise everything is going left and I am just going to be, skeptical. Like I'm just not going to be okay. So that really helped me to get closer and connect with God. I was reading scripture, I was doing devotion, I was in it to win it. I was praying. I just felt like I was in a good space mentally, emotionally. um and it's crazy because as soon as I hit the target that I wanted, I was so sad. I was just so, and this was an academic target, if I haven't shared it on here. It was an academic target and it was just like really specific goals, like vision board and everything. And I hit all those targets and or did better. And it was just like, there were times where I didn't think I would hit those targets. And I had to be like, well, God said it's going to happen for me. Well, I know this is going to happen despite, you know what they say about truth versus facts. You need to be able to look at the facts and still speak the truth over it. So I would see like, yay, the facts are saying, no, girl, this is not gonna happen for you, girl. You need to relax. You need to just, and I would just open my mouth and speak life over my situation, whatever I'm seeing, because I know what God told me. And I would go on Pinterest and I would find like um posts that speak about like how be still and know that I am God. Like, guys, I'm trying to say all of these things to let you know that I was really like immersed. I was deep in connection with God. I felt like I was actually moving forward with my relationship with him. And doing that by moving forward in my life in some sort of way. And as soon as I hit that goal, I felt really sad and disappointed, and not only because um not because of the actual goal. I was really happy and grateful, and it's not to say like the pursuit of material goals or trying to materialize progress is a negative thing. It is a really positive thing to push yourself in that way and to demand growth out of yourself and demand progress out of yourself. But you know, like the saying says, the peak of one mountain is the foot of another, right? The fact that I got to that point meant that I had new demons to face. And a lot of those demons had to do with, um, where my desire for achievement comes from. Who am I trying to impress? And I had to confront that when the person or the people I was trying to impress were not impressed by my achievement. I had to shift from I am living my life to see this person be proud of me to I am living my life for me and God and doing what is pleasing to me and God and walking in my purpose in such a way that makes me feel like I am happy to be alive and I am worthy of this life and I'm full inside. So there was that. That was really a hard space to go through. I was like in tears on my birthday. I was like, oh. Every year I'm never really 100% on my birthday, and people who know me do know that. But that was a different, like, demon to wrestle with. That was a different one because it had nothing to do with where I am. It had everything to do with, um, like, how I perceive my existence and how I try to justify my existence. So there was that. And that was basically the start of the foot of the next mountain. I had to deal with that emotionally. Moving into December, I got corona. I had to be quarantined and everyone was going home. I struggled with feeling stuck. Everyone is going home. I'm stuck in this room. And I really felt like my emotional space had materialized into this physical situation. I don't know if you guys understand. Like, when your life is a mess and in turmoil, and then your room is also messy, and you're like, yo, like you feel what you feel. What you're feeling on the inside is suddenly projected onto the outside, and it intensifies that feeling and how you feel and just all of it. So there was that, and I could literally hear people's suitcases moving, like grrr, they're going home. And I was struggling with thoughts of, I feel like my life is stuck. And so many people I know, people who are around me, have been given the go ahead to move forward into this next season of their life. And I feel like I'm still stuck in this one season for so long. I have been here for so long, God. I feel like I've served my time in the season. Why don't you see me? I'm trying my best to get out of it. Why would you release me, Jesus? And I know that there are a lot of people that experience this feeling and this frustration in one way or another. It may not be academically, it may not be school, whatever, guys. Relationship is just like, I know that there's someone out there that feels what I felt, of just feeling stuck and feeling like you cannot physically do anything to get yourself out of that space. So I basically had to just sit that out because I was in quarantine. So, there was that. Moving into January, just like starting the new school year after conquering academically the previous year, feeling like, hey, my name is Lil Mas Einstein. I'ma just get in here and kill it. And that's not exactly what happened because, baby, the peak of one mountain is the foot of the next, right? You're not gonna conquer grade one and think you're gonna cruise in grade two. Like, it's gonna be harder, it's gonna be more challenging. I struggled with that because for some reason I did not expect that. For some reason I expected to have the strength to muscle through it, to just glide through it, because now those results told me that I'm strong, like I'm smart, like you know. But really, what I was supposed to take away from it is that I have the ability to conquer, not that I just conquer because I am here and I have arrived. Like, I still need to put in effort. So those are really the things that I struggled with in terms of that lesson, grasping it, that okay, new levels, new devils. You're not going to just conquer and think like, that's it. Okay, so moving into number two. And so the second lesson is nobody is coming, but help is on the way. I, for some reason, get into these spaces where I feel, woe is me. Why don't I have someone who believes in me, like a person who is just there to believe in me? God, I know all these people who are great and who are pursuing their purpose and their greatness, and they have that right hand person who just believes in them straight out and is pulling them out of dark spaces and is pushing them to be all that they could be. And I just felt like I didn't have that. I felt like I didn't have someone who intentionally was placed in my life to pull purpose out of me, to be like, why aren't you creating? Why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? Yes, I have friends who love me and care about me and understand um, who I am, and just like what makes me happy. What am I like? How do I function? Being creative is part of my function, and they understand that and they know that, and they, check in from time to time. When is this coming out? When are you doing this? When are you doing that? But I felt like, what was me? Like, why don't I have someone who is pushing me to be everything that I could be? And I had to shift from that mindset. What I learned is that nobody is coming, as in, I can't just stand in one position and hope for someone to come and pull me and grab me and run with me to purpose. But help is on the way, because it's mad to me. For the past 3 years, if not four, I've always had like this obstacle in the beginning of the year where literally it's something that I could never have done on my own. There was a year I was working at my residence as a house committee member, and I had to plan a pageant in a month. And I know to this day I will never ever sit here and tell you that that was all me, beat my chest and say like I'm really good at planning. Yes, I have a gift of planning, but it is not me on my own. And so, what I'm trying to say is that once I started to seek out, I realized that I have all these resources around me, and people, as soon as I had a need and I moved towards that need, and I acted as though I already had that thing, somehow whatever I needed came to me. I needed lights, and I planned the thingy, the pageant, and I wasn't gonna say no pageant because no lights. I can't plan a pageant until somebody gives me lights. I had to just plan the pageant as though I have those lights already. And someone would come and be like, I have what you need. And I hope you don't get the wrong idea from this, that, you're just gonna get everything you want, but you need to approach whatever it is you want, and the assistance that you need in order to achieve that goal will come. And that's where faith comes in. Like, you literally just have to trust in the fact that whatever it is that you want to accomplish will be accomplished. B. Simone likes to say this thing where she says like, when I decide to manifest a goal, I decide on the goal. How it happens is none of my business. I just know that this is what I want and I'm showing up to receive it. That's it. How it comes to me, who it comes to me through, none of my business. That's between God and the goal. And so that's literally what I just want you to take away from this number two lesson, that nobody is coming, but help is on the way. As in, once you are on your way, once you are moving in the direction of whatever it is that you want, the help that you need will find you. The people that you need to help you achieve your vision or realize your vision will come to you, but you have to be on the way. You have to move in the direction of that goal, because they are not going to come to you and find you chilling in your bonnet and your robe and be like, so you'd like to be on Vogue, or so you'd like to do something great, wouldn't you? How about I help you do that? People, Miles Monroe says this thing where he says like, people don't invest in people, they invest in visions, right? And to me, I'm thinking, me as a person, I just want my body to be on Vogue. But some makeup artist sees my face and says, I want my makeup to be on the cover of Vogue. A hairstylist says, I want my hair to be on the cover of Vogue. Eyelash person, I want my lashes, my jewelry to be on the cover of Vogue. everybody has a different gift, and all those gifts work together for one vision. Just because you see yourself on the cover of Vogue doesn't mean that the people who are coming to help you need to see themselves on the cover of Vogue. They see whatever gift they have to offer on the cover of Vogue. I really hope I'm articulating this well, but what you need to know is that your vision is going to involve other people. I think that's something I also struggled with, like collaboration. Your vision is going to involve other people, and they may not play the same role as you, but you have to, you have to walk towards it in order for other people to see themselves in your plan, because their plan will fit into yours and your plan will fit into theirs. So nobody's coming, but help is on the way is number 2. The third lesson is that faith is a container of God and a restrainer of blessing. I had an epiphany the other day in the shower. I hadn't been seeing God in my life because I hadn't created space for Him to show up in it. And what that basically means is that I had no goals. I desired nothing. I was just sitting and hoping for some part of me to be pleased at anything. But it's like someone asking you, what do you want to eat? And you say, I don't know, and hoping that they just pick something that will feed you, And when they do that, they risk the possibility that you might not like it, hence waste. And one thing about God, God does not waste. So when we say faith is a container of God, when you have faith in something or for something, when you desire something and hope that it will manifest in your life, you create the space for God to show up in it. And it is a restrainer in that once you decide on what you want, you also limit God. So you have to be conscious of the size of the goals that you set. I'm starting to see that right now, especially I set a goal with my makeup business. For those of you who don't know, at @GLAMZA on Instagram. Make sure you go follow. If you're in Hatfield, Pretoria, I'm your girl. Book me for your birthday, little self promo for your birthday, your graduation, any events, honey, we'll get you glammed up. Well, I set a goal with my business, and mind you, I haven't been working on my business. I haven't been investing in Glam. I've just been, if somebody hits me up like, yo, I want to do this for my birthday, are you available? Yeah, I'm available. That's basically how I was operating in the previous year. Like I wasn't actually pursuing an amount or wasn't actually pursuing clients. This year I decided this graduation season is my season, Glam season, honey. We're going to eat faces, and I set a goal. In setting that goal, I paid like a first fruits. I gave an offering. I don't think I'll say the amount because but I paid. So for those of you who understand what tithe is, I paid the tithe of the amount that I would like to achieve throughout the season, so this month, right? So I paid the amount, and it's not to say once you pay, you can pay for blessings. No, I gave the offering saying, God, I trust you with my finances because I know that everything comes from you, right? I'm connected to the source of all things possible, hence everything possible is possible for me. I paid the amount in tithe, pre-tithe, first fruits offering, and then I invested in my business. I got stock, I got everything that I need in order to receive those bookings. And this is what like goes into the previous point, that nobody's coming but help is on the way. I got everything I needed so that if somebody texted me in this moment right now, it's like 4 in the morning right now, I'm filming, I'm about to go do a client at 5:30 for graduation. That's my situation right now. But my current like business situation is such that if someone were to call me right now and say, I need you to do my face, I do not need to gather resources in order to be blessed. I am in the position to be blessed. I am waiting on God in faith because I have everything that I need, and all I need is Him to now bless my business by actually bringing me clients, by actually having people say, you know what, that girl's makeup is really beautiful. I want to trust her with my face. Why am I saying this? I did all of these things because I was creating space to receive those blessings that I want, number one. And number two, I set an amount because I wanted to see God manifest in my life. You have to be specific with your prayer and be specific with your goals. But at the same time, you have to acknowledge the fact that whatever you ask for is a restraint on God. God can do anything. I could ask for R1,000,000, and if I'm willing to put in the work and the effort and set up myself to receive such a blessing, I can do it. But the amount that I prayed for, that's my amount, and that's the target that I set. Because at the time, I also didn't think like, ooh, I felt like, ooh, this is a big goal. And it's crazy to me because this thing is just manifesting. It's just coming together, and every day somebody is texting me out of nowhere, not necessarily out of nowhere, because I have paid for ads. I have, promoted on, I have done promo work. Let's be clear here. I'm not just saying God woke up and decided to bless me. I put myself in the position to be blessed, right? I put my work out there so that people can see what I do and so that they can decide to pay me for my services. But what I'm trying to communicate to you is that whatever goal you set restrains God's power. I ask for a certain amount, He's going to give me that amount and a little bit more. I'm already so close to that amount. I'm really just maybe like 2 or 3 clients away from that amount, which is mind blowing to me because it's the middle of the month and I said end of the month, right? So, whatever you pray for is a restraint on God. So, be aware of the size of the goals that you set. And it doesn't mean that once you set a goal, you can't change it, make it bigger. Obviously, once you set this goal, you realize, oh, it's achievable, I can move on to the next one. But what I'm just trying to communicate to you is that whatever you're asking for is restraining God. God will show up in your life in that way. If you're praying for God to give you bread, because that's what you feel like that's what you need in your life, He will. There are people who see God as a God who only pays the light bill. There are people who see God as the God that only gets the children through school. I see God as a God of abundance. I know God as a God that wants me to be financially independent, that wants me to be fruitful and have a good life and have good finances and have good relationships. That's how I perceive God, and so that's how He shows up in my life. So your faith is your container. It creates space for your blessings, and your restrainer, it determines the size of your blessings. That's basically what the lesson is. Number 4 is avoiding a problem is avoiding the solution. Honey, child, I am guilty of escapism. I will indulge in things that help me forget about where I'm at and how I'm feeling, etc., etc. But one thing I learned when the beginning of this year started and I was struggling with school and just struggling with this next, mountaintop, or the foot of this next mountain, was that me acting as though everything is okay and I just need to just hold tight and I'll be happy eventually is me deciding to not be happy. Me deciding to not say, Lele, you are not happy. Lele, you are sad. You're crying. Almost every day, girl. You are crying. Not because of a situation, but because of your frustration with your life or how you feel. How do we get to a place where we are happy or where we're at least smiling more than crying? That conversation needed to happen with myself, and I needed to remove myself from the noise. And noise isn't always a bad thing. I'm not saying like me having friends in a social life is a bad thing, but I didn't give myself the space to sit down and confront myself. I didn't give myself the time of day to even hear myself out. And it got to a point where my spirit and my soul was throwing a tantrum at me. Like, you don't want to take care of me, so I'm not going to give you what you want. You want me to act like we're happy. We're not happy. We're not happy. So when are you going to decide to make me happy again so you can actually genuinely smile and your spirit can come into alignment with your body's smile? I had to sit down and just think about, when was it that I was lost genuinely happy, like not because of an outside thing. I remember telling my friend, like, I feel as though I've moved into a space where, and that was at the time, like I felt as though I moved into a space where I was excited, but I was not happy. Like, a lot of exciting things were happening, and I wrote down in my journal that successive highs can make it seem as though you're constantly happy, but you're just high again. You know, it's like smoking weed every day. You smoke, you smoke, you smoke, you smoke, you smoke. You don't have the opportunity to realize that without the weed, you're not all right, honey. Or, you know, and it's not to say people smoke weed because they're not all right, but I'm just saying, like, people who self medicate, you don't have the opportunity to see that without the alcohol, you're not all right. Without the boyfriend, you're not all right. Without the friends, you're not all right. Without this thing that keeps on helping you forget about your issue, you are not all right. Why? Because you're constantly in the state of forgetting, this induced forgetting. And so I had to like realize that and I will make a video about this later, because it is a real problem of mine, and I feel as though like it is a whole video on its own, that I am a hopeless romantic and I struggle with romantic escapism. You know, like I can escape into a romantic relationship and make that my entire life and not actually focus on my goals and dreams. And it has nothing to do with the partner that I'm with. It's really all just a thing of how I am and how, you know, just like my mindset and how I allow all those things to happen. The final lesson is honestly the glue that holds everything in this video together. And I think it's the most important one. It is easy to allow yourself to spend your time watching videos like these that make you feel better, that excite you, make you feel like, I'm going to get my life together. But at the end of the day, if you do not act, you will always be in the same position that you are in. And so the fifth lesson is happiness comes from progress and action produces results. I think it was a Tony Robbins quote that happiness comes from progress. Like, you're not happy because you're not progressing, you're not growing and giving. That's basically what he says. And I think it's so true, because when I felt stuck, when I think about all the times where I felt sad, it was because I felt like there was no movement in my life. I felt like there was no direction in my life. I felt as though, you know, everything is exciting, but I'm still in the same position that I was in 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon because I'm not acting. And I think that's also what is really important, the important part. People think that they want a life where they don't have problems and that they don't have to wake up in the morning and actually be active and go do this and go do that. But really what you want is, you want a life where you are doing things that you love, you know. I am not saying that when you do something that you love, it's always exciting to do. Like I said, I have a client in a few hours and my body is like, oh, do we really need to do this? But my mind like understands the fact that after doing that, there is a pleasure that comes in having a sense of purpose, having a sense of, I did something worth doing today. I woke up and I contributed to the world in one way or another. I am seen through my actions. I gave in a way that, you know, someone acknowledges me fundamentally, me as Lele. It's easy to sit with your friends and give your time, and yeah, it's great. Like, your friends are grateful to spend time with you, but after that there's no return on it. And I think a lot of the time when people get into really dark depressive states, it's because they feel as though their life is not acknowledged on a micro scale. It's easy to say everybody matters, but does Lele matter? And why does Lele matter is a difficult question to answer when Lele is not doing anything that she thinks matters to the world. You know, the pain of feeling like people don't recognize what you do is far less painful than the pain of feeling like there is nothing for people to recognize about you. And I can honestly say that because I've been in both positions, feeling like, why am I here? Why am I alive? What's the point of me just being here? Like, why? And not being able to answer that question, and being in a position where I'm not doing what I want people to acknowledge and notice about me. And so they don't. They just see me. They see a pretty face, they see nice hair, and they're just like, oh, there's Lele. You know, I know the pain of both, and I understand that there's pleasure in that other pain because there's an ability to change the situation. I am able to change that pain because I'm able to actually step out of it by acting. I'm able to start doing faces so people know that I'm a makeup artist. I'm able to create videos like this so people know that I am an aspiring coach and speaker. You know, I am able to do something that makes people see value in my life by giving value. Why am I saying this? My point is this: if you want to be happy, truly fulfilled, happy, do something, act in the direction of any goal. I'm not saying you're going to be happy straight away, but I know that you're going to be fulfilled in knowing that you're waking up for a reason. You're waking up for something beyond yourself, bigger than yourself, because that definitely does determine how you feel about yourself, how you see that you fit into the world. And I think honestly, if you're watching this video, if you're on this channel, you definitely share the same sentiments as me, which is that you were created for a purpose and you're not just here to be pretty, unless you're a model, or but even models aren't just created to just be pretty. Like, something else comes from it. You are a vessel of your truth, and what you're carrying inside of you has the ability to impact the next person. And I think that it's just hard to translate it in a way that you feel fulfilled. For me, this is my way of sharing my truth in such a way that I feel fulfilled. I feel like I've given, and like I feel like I'm here, man. Like, I'm actually here on this planet, and somebody will miss me if I die. Even if it's not someone who physically knows me, but somebody who needed this video and got to this point in this video, you will miss me because I gave something of value to your life. So that's basically my 2 cents in this long video. I am really happy to just have done this. I've been trying to get myself to do it for so long. I've been turning at the door for so long. So I know what this moment means to me. Like, I don't need everyone to get it, but I'm just taking the time right now to reflect and just really just say thank you, God, that you gave me the strength to walk in my purpose. Walking in purpose is really hard when there is no return on it. I'm just going to be honest, like, standing in your truth and doing something that not everyone agrees with or isn't necessarily sensational is difficult. And a lot of people won't affirm you. Almost no one will affirm you. There's a lot of shame attached to it. There's a lot of wanting to hide and shrink and, just like cover up and be like, no, this is not really who I am. But at the end of the day, this thing, it really makes me happy, and I'm really happy and grateful that I did it again, and I am making a resolution to do it again. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with a friend. We are growing this channel. I'm speaking it over my life because I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of shrinking or just like hiding this channel because I don't want people to see me fully because I feel really naked. But yeah, guys, share this video with a friend, with a couple of friends, and let's go follow my IG page, my main page, and my makeup page. I will put it here and here, hopefully, if I can edit this well. Follow Lele _ Nsibande on Instagram for my personal page, or go and follow, and not or, go and follow at @StarGlamZA for my makeup page. And you can also go follow Starfit. Yes, is it Starfit ZA? Star Fitness? I need to check that out. Actually, I don't know it off by heart, but that is my fitness page where I post a little gym content there too. So make sure you get into that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you a lot, and I will see you in the next one.